Hello everyone and welcome to this early access look at the Mortal Empires DLC. In this 1v1 match, I'll be playing the Beastmen led by Morker the Shadowgave. And guys, I'm going to be facing off against Indie Pride and Milk and Cookies Total War, who's going to be helming the High Elves led by a Prince on a Star Dragon. So let's jump right into this game, guys, and have a bit of fun. So on the front line, I do have a combination of fodder units and these gore herds with shields, and they're going to be supporting the more elite and heavy-duty best gore herds. So you definitely need some armor piercing in your front line to deal with the High Elves. You can see they have the white lines with 90 armor, the Phoenix Guard have 100 armor, and I don't think he has any Swordmasters of Hoeth. And granted, Minotaurs can be used as kind of an armor piercing option in the front. They're going to be very weak against High Elf missile fire, and Phoenix Guard will absolutely tear them to pieces with their anti-large bonus. So I figured the Bestigors would be kind of the better bet there. On top of that, in the high ground, I do also have a Bray Shaman with the Lore of Death, and Lore of Death is very, very good against the High Elves because Fata Buna absolutely destroys elite infantry. So you want to be using Fata Buna on Phoenix Guard, Dragon Princers. I mean, even if you have to, it's not bad against the white lines, but granted, they're not terribly expensive, so you really want to maximize the efficiency of that and use it on Phoenix Guard as well as those very expensive Cav. In the back, I do have three groups of these Ungor Raiders, and they do have stock, which is really nice. So if the High Elves do bring a bunch of archers, they're not going to take any fire until you really want them to. So you can get set up, you can get a good firing angle on a dragon or on some archers, and trade pretty efficiently. So three groups of these Ungor Raiders, one Gorbel in the back for anti-large and armor piercing. I do also have two groups of Centaurs with Great Opens, each of which is going to be supported by a group of Chaos Warhounds. So this is definitely very strong, and one of the biggest strengths of the Beastmen is that when they catch a flying lord or hero, they're most likely not going to be able to get back up. Hounds have 95 speed plus poison, and these Centaurs with Great Opens are rocking a hard 95 speed, so these guys are definitely beasts. So for Indie Pride's army, it's a very kind of lean elite army. He's got two Phoenix Guard, three white lines, one group of spears. Phoenix Guard are definitely a good choice. Anti-large, armor piercing. They can fight against Bestigors with their very good stats, and they would probably honestly win 1-1 against Bestigors with their 30% physical resist. And on top of that, he does have a Prince on a Star Dragon, and he also has a regular Star Dragon. So nothing vulnerable. So he's kind of going for that very elite style of play against the Beastmen, where you don't really have to worry about your flanks, you don't have to worry about protecting archers, things like that, and just taking advantage of these kind of very sturdy units. So guys, one of the main reasons I wanted to show you guys this game is so you could see how truly powerful the breath attacks are now. So I don't know if they've changed or if it's just especially effective against the Beastmen, but man, these breath attacks are devastating from these Star Dragons, which are pretty much the strongest dragons in the game. So right now I'm going to get my Bray Shaman with Death, and I'm going to be casting a Fata Buna immediately on the Phoenix Guard, because again, those guys are very elite. It's hard to take them down with what I have, but look at this breath attack. It just absolutely melts my Bray Shaman, just takes him out of the picture, which was so rough, because that's a big investment. I mean, that's like 1,000 plus gold, just gone, taken out of the battle instantly. So I was in a lot of trouble right there. He does also get his Prince on the Star Dragon kind of lurking overhead, and I do get a nice little charge with these Gore Herds who are going to slam into these shields, and they'll actually trade pretty efficiently with spears, because they do have good sustained combat stats. But his Dragon is able to chase off my Chariot, who actually just shattered, so I'm out of magic, like within the first 15-20 seconds of the battle, which is very, very tough, guys. So his Prince is also flying overhead. You can see the Gorbel is doing pretty good, but look at this breath damage just on this Gorbel, just taking him down to like half health instantly. And then the Prince on the Star Dragon is going to be able to pop, Foe Seeker and the Blade of, what is that Blade ability? Oh, melee attack and armor piercing. So my Gorbel is pretty much dead. So the battle started, and within like a matter of seconds, I've lost pretty much everything I have. Like, not everything, but every support unit I have. So I've lost my Gorbel, I've lost my Bray Shaman with the Lore of Death, and I still have Morker, but man, that is a huge kind of hit to take initially. You can see my Chaos Spawn in the back are going to start tearing into some of these Spearmen. And also, guys, Morker did get nerfed in Mortal Empires. He only has one charge of his staff and one charge of the Ruinous Corruption. Unfortunately, in this game, I did forget to bring the, not the staff, but I forgot to bring the Spirit Essence of Chaos, which was really bad. I think I accidentally clicked it off. But this is where I do potentially have a chance to get back in it. My Gorbel and my Bray Shaman are shattered, but his Lord has landed, and my archers are, a little bit bunched up, but I do split them up in a second, and I can start getting some pretty healthy fire on this Prince. On the far side, you can see the white lines have pushed back my Bestigor herds. I think they are supported by some of these Phoenix Guard as well. But I do get some troops coming from the flank, some Gore herds and some other troops. So I have surrounded a lot of these white lions. I actually did Vanguard one group of these, what are these guys called? The Ungors over here on the far side. And I was able to get a flank, and you can see I have surrounded a lot of his infantry. The Chaos Spawn are also doing a pretty good job kind of getting a little bit hog wild over here. You can see my Hounds and some of these Centaurs are getting up and around the flank. So I'm just trying to find an opportunity to like pin some of his guys down. Looks like the Chaos Spawn might be bugging out. I'm not sure. Maybe they're just like attacking something. Man, it looks a little buggy right there, guys. So anyways, the Prince with the Star Dragon right here is kind of attacking some of my more elite infantry, but I do get a great little surround right here, and you can see there are some Chaos Spawn here, and it looks like maybe some of them were over there. I don't know. There may be a little bit of screen tearing or something. But the Star Dragon does get absolutely surrounded by these poison guys, and I'm just able to kind of start doing some damage to him. Finally, but man, Star Dragons are so strong. And you guys can see I did indeed split my archers up, so I have them in 3 separate groups instead of stacked on top of each other, which was kind of just a pathing mistake on my part. So I'm able to start getting some focus fire. And like I mentioned before, it's very, very hard to get away from Beastmen and Cav. Like, hounds, and these guys are so fast, like they essentially can't take off and fly because they're going to be on the ground, and as units are getting attacked, they can't necessarily take off. Granted, there are some like buggy circumstances in which they can, but usually when a flying unit like not a Democrat Knight, but like let's say a Royal Eltor Griffites, what are those guys called with the Empire? The Hippogriffs. They're trying to like take off, but they're just like surrounded, being hit. They can't get up in the air. So you can see the prince is just kind of surrounded by these centaurs who are just kind of pinning him down. And then all of these archers are just kind of wailing on him, just doing a ton of damage. Unfortunately, I think some of my guys do terror route off. Yeah, you can see my Bestigors did terror route, so he's able to get away. This other dragon, however, is still being attacked by some Bestigors as well as some Gore herds, but still neither of those are going to do huge damage. But in the back, Indy Pride does immediately recognize his threat, so he's going to bring his prince back here to start eating on these Ungor raiders. You can see that Morker was hiding in the forest. I actually had to run because he was starting to really do a ton of damage against Morker with his prince and his star dragon. So Morker's coming in for the kill right now, hopefully to pin this guy down, and I think he does apply poison. Let's go ahead and check. Yeah, Morker does apply poison. So you can see his speed actually hasn't been mitigated quite yet. There it goes, down to 61. And I also get some hounds coming in. So the hounds did come back from route. My archers are kind of just dragging him down. And there's no way this prince is going to get away. The hounds are kind of, just he's broken too. Yeah. So on top of that, he's not even going to fight back. And these guys are just going to kind of nip at his heels until he goes down. You can see my archer fire, and down goes the prince on the star dragon. So the Beastmen are able to kind of pull back a little bit here in the fourth quarter, using these Ungor raiders and some of these poison hounds to kind of chase these very elite units. But Indy Pride still does have a very strong core. He has 60 Phoenix Guard right here. It looks like his White Lions are taking some casualties. We got a very kind of bloody, heated fight here in the pits. And man, I can't wait till we get the Blood DLC coming in the next few days. Well, I guess technically tomorrow, because I'm casting this the day before Mortal Empires. But yeah, the Beastmen infantry are holding okay. Not quite as good as I thought it would be. Granted, the High Elf infantry are very elite. You have the White Lions. The best scores can trade with the White Lions, and I think they would win 1-1 against the White Lions with their charge bonus and higher weapon strength. But against Phoenix Guard with that physical resist, it's going to be really tricky. So the Phoenix Guard are, still holding their own. They do have the Lore Master of Hoeth here in the pits with his giant epic sword. And that thing is so cool looking. That thing's pretty substantial. So a lot of the best scores of my other troops are kind of just breaking and routing right now to the very elite High Elf infantry. And he still does have a Star Dragon. So as you guys can see, most of his leadership, well, his only leadership is gone. But the Star Dragon, it might as well encourage, because this thing is just terror routing all of my Ungors and other troops. But I'm forming a bit of a second firing line right here. So I'm like, okay, I can probably pepper him down with my archers. And if he does overcommit with his dragon, I can then, drag him down with the Poison Warhounds, and Morker can probably help out a little bit in that respect, because his infantry are definitely very, very strong, and the Lore Master of Hoeth is quite a beast as well. He has full health, 2700 HP, has good armor piercing damage, so not that you need armor piercing against Morker, but he does have very good weapon damage, is what I'm trying to say. So he would be able to kind of take out Morker. So my archers are just reforming ranks and, trying their best to shoot down the Star Dragon, who now has 3 chevrons. I don't think he had that before the battle, so this guy's definitely performing. 82 kills, and he instantly roasted one of my casters as well, so definitely paying for himself quite a bit. So I'm forming a little bit of a concave. You can see I do have some troops coming back from route. You can see Indy Pride is going to be retreating into the forest, thinking these trees will save him, but that's totally fine with me because I have a ton of guys, kind of wavering and routing. So this gives me time to kind of re-anchor my forces and actually form a decent battle line. So you can see I'm grabbing everything right now, my Gores, my Poison Hounds, just the best Gores who have come back as well. And I can finally start to form ranks behind my archers. So if he does decide to advance, at least I'm going to have some troops to kind of support. So my archers are back online right now, and they're going to turn and start shooting, and I really want to take out these Phoenix Guard. The Phoenix Guard and the Dragon. So I'm shooting at the Dragon right now since it is kind of an open target. You can see its HP is tanking rather quickly. And I saw the Phoenix Guard were advancing too quick on me. So I use the Poison Hounds, I run in, I attack, I apply poison, and then I just pull back immediately. You can see a Dragon Breath going down on Morker, which does about 10% of his HP. Definitely some scary stuff. And I do have to pull back right now. So I'm retreating with these guys, just trying to do some cycle charging on the flanks with my guys. And as soon as Indy Pride reacts, I just pull back. So I'm just trying to taunt these guys and keep them pinned, keep them from being able to advance so I can get as much value as I can out of these raiders. You can see I do have a bit of a second line coming in, so I do decide to commit the hounds into this engagement to poison these White Lions. And you can see the best Centaurs and all these other guys coming in, as well as some of these Bestigors and Gore herds right here. Just trying to pin down these Phoenix Guard for as long as I can. So the Dragon in the back did land, and now is the time to strike. You can see all the Centaurs and some of my Poison Hounds are coming back from route over here. It looks like 44 models. We're already shaken, and I'm able to kind of get on this Dragon. And the Dragon, you can see, has 80 speed. The Centaurs have 95. So if I'm able to sit and just kind of, stay on top of this Dragon, he's not going to be able to get away. So my archers are going to kind of turn face right here and start shooting at him. I do also get the poison, and you can see his HP is tanking very quickly, very quickly. And man, this thing has 67 melee defense. That's heavy duty. But anyways, kind of just the volume of fire from these Ungor Raiders is starting to drag it down. It has 1400 HP. Unfortunately, the Phoenix Guard do get through the front line. All my melee forces that had rallied are kind of broken, aside from some of these Bestigors who are actually doing really well this match. I'm quite impressed with them. I mean, 76 kills is not bad against some very elite infantry. So I'm just kiting back in several different directions. Indy Pride was trying to chase down my Ungor, so I run them back, and I'm just trying to do everything I can to get this dragon, because I know if I can get this dragon down, I potentially have a chance to finish off the Phoenix Guard. The dragon, you know, is one of those things that in a very close game can just mass army route. Like, all of my Ungors who have very low leadership, especially if, like, we're able to kill Morker in a few swipes, and if this dragon were able to get on Morker, it would be able to probably kill him. So I was able to kind of save Morker. I do pop the Call of Violence, and he's going to be going in there and engaging with his staff, but it looks like I do pull back, and then I'm going to engage on Cav, so I'm just trying to bait his attacks with my different heroes, and then when he commits, I come in with my Cav, and then I just retreat as soon as he turns focus. And yeah, I'm just having to use the last of my ammunition right now to kind of pepper these guys down, so you guys can see it's a bit of an atrocious fight, and I'm just pulling back my archers, and these Gors are just getting in here, these Bestigors, and man, they look so cool. Like, I don't remember them looking like that. Did they have that, like, same kind of armor scheme and everything? But man, they look pretty gangster for sure. So they're fighting against the Phoenix Guard. They have that very good armor piercing damage, but Phoenix Guard do have much better sustained stats with 39. Well, and they don't even have martial prowess right now. They're 39-42 compared to 37-26, plus 30 physical resist. So the Hounds are coming in to apply some poison and just slow them down even further, while all my archers are able to kind of pepper those guys down. So you guys can see the archers just shooting. I'm using Morker to kind of poke in, apply poison, and I'm just basically just trying to kite and drag these guys into the pits. I had to dig myself out so deep without that Gorbel and that caster, so that's kind of the reason why I'm having to, like, kite a lot here. So these Ungors are out of ammunition, so I don't mind using them in melee. They do have 26 melee attack, which isn't terrible, so they're not complete pushovers. A lot of the Beastmen are quite savage folk. So right now it's basically just his Lore Master of Hoth fighting against Morker and some of these Beastmen troops, and it looks like the Lore Master of Hoth is indeed going to rout off. So man, what an incredible game. Very well played to Indie Pride. It was super fun, and you know, that was one of the best lessons I've been taught from Mortal Empire so far, is that if someone has a Star Dragon, I mean, you got to be really careful. You got to be side strafing, trying to dodge. I wasn't used to it, like, basically one-shotting my guys. I mean, it basically brought my Shaman down here down to like 30% HP, and then obviously, you know, one attack is going to probably rout or shatter him from there. Then also the Gorbel just got massacred. I mean, like, man, that Prince just roasted him and then came in and finished him off. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe go a little bit wider, but I'm a little bit, you know, afraid to think what would have happened had those 2 Star Dragon breaths roasted Morker in the beginning. I don't know if it didn't seem to do as much damage to him. I'm not sure if it's because of some resistances he has, or maybe it does better against armor, but man, that was brutal. So I like the build though. The Bestigors perform pretty well. I mean, 32 kills. They're facing some of the most elite infantry in the game. The Gore Herds did pretty well just as a fodder unit, but the Ungor Raiders were honestly the MVPs. They stalked, they focused down the dragons in conjunction with the Centaurs and the Poison Hounds. It was pretty heavy duty. So yeah, I liked Indie Pride's army. It was very elite, very scary, hard to deal with. It's one of those armies that if you don't feel like having to protect a bunch of archers, you can just go very elite, you know, get some monstrous units, and the Beastmen don't have the best leadership, so you can route them somewhat easily once their frenzy wears off, and it was definitely pretty cool. So very well played to Indie Pride and Milk and Cookies Total War. If you guys haven't, go check out his YouTube channel. He does a lot of great content, and we'll definitely be doing a lot more battles coming up. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this Beastmen game. Got a lot more content coming soon, and have an excellent night, guys.